think I'm blocking the light. Oh. Oh no. Oh, wow. Oh, hello. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. You might be able to hear my G-Class just ticking over in the background. That's because I'm just test running it after changing the Serpentine belt, the idler pulley and the tensioner. So keep watching the video and I'll show you exactly how I did it and what I done. Okay then, so first part of the job is to remove the old belt. Now it's completely blind to get to the tensioner bolt, but as you can just see where my breaker bar has gone in now, that's actually on it. And so I'm going to take the tension off of that, try and record it, and I will take the belt off elsewhere once that tension's off. I've got a good pull on that now. See if I can take it off the idler pulley at the top. Done. Let's get the camera back in there for you. Release that tension off. Interesting, I can't get a breaker bar out now because it's on these two pipes, but it's still got a lot of tension on it. So I managed to get the belt off this top pulley here. Let's see if I can just reach down and grab the belt off of everywhere else. That's it off the alternator. I am going to try and do this with the fan on, all intact. Whether I can or not, I don't know. But I did buy some cheapo fan spanners from Amazon and they don't work. So that's why I'm doing it with the fan on. Let's pull this belt out a bit more. I need to try and get my breaker bar out this gap, which is a bit annoying. Get the rest of the belt out. The pulley at the very bottom down there, I think it's maybe the water pump down there. Looks like it's going to be a right nightmare to feed back on, so we'll see how it is. Anyway, here's the original belt, pretty large. Bigger than the one on the old TD5 Defender, that's for sure. Belt itself actually looks in alright condition. So the hardest bit of the job will be removing this one. Interestingly, oh yeah, there's the noise. Sounds pretty cooked to me, and then this top one, completely fried. I think I'll start with this top one first. I think it's just a plastic cap on the front and a bolt. I think this plastic cap will just come off with a screwdriver. Let's give it a go. If I can get in. Failing miserably. This is what we're dealing with. Just this plastic cap, which just pops in there. Right, got a little dumpy screwdriver this time. I think I'm blocking the light. Okay, that just fell on the floor, so that's good, it's off. Okay, so in the middle of that we've got a Torx bit. That is a T50 Torx bit. So let's see how difficult that is to get off. It's come off fine. Can do the rest by hand. Hopefully I don't drop this bolt because there's not a new one in the kit. Long old bolt. What? Okay, that bolt's enormous. Not even sure I can get it out with it. Okay, it does just come out. Look at the size of that. So this is the side that was facing me. There's no part numbers on the front. This is the back side. I'm not sure it's got cracks or slots in, but it's also got all the part numbers on the back. So let's have a look at the new one. Okay, so this is a new one. So I'm actually using Inner, is the brand I'm using. These are on the PROJECTS website, so like the OEM website. This also has what looks like Loctite residue, so I'll put a little bit of Loctite on there for the way back in as well. Okay, so before I refit this one, I'm actually going to start working on the bottom tensioner now, because if this is out the way, it's again slightly more space to get some tools in. For this you need a hollow Torx bit or hollow star point. I'll let you know the sizes when I can. It's pretty difficult to get a good camera view down there, but I'll try my best. That's the right size. That's an E12. Can I get my ratchet in there? Probably not with the camera in there, to be fair. Come on. Move the old camera out of the way a little bit. Well, it started, so this will take a while, so I'll probably spare you this and I'll show you the next bolt when it comes to it, because I'm only getting 1 or 2 clicks on the ratchet. The top bolt is now out of that hole there. Not sure if there's enough light. The top bolt's out. That's what it looked like. I managed to get the power ratchet in there, to be fair, so it wasn't too bad. Now I'm just trying to work out where the next bolt is, because it's completely blind down the gap, but this is actually sitting on the engine like this, so it's tucked around the back. Probably going to have to get to it from the other side, around here somewhere. You can just about see the idler down the hole. Okay, so I apologise for the flickering, but this is the best you're going to get. I've found the bolt. It's that one there. The only way you can get to it is by re-tensioning the tensioner. So I had a look at the new one, and it has a pin which I assume is holding the tension on it. Got the breaker bar on the tensioner. Where that really long hole was, I put a Torx bit in to hold the breaker bar on the tension, and just looking down into the abyss, I can just about see the bolt. I'm not sure I can get it on the camera. Might throw the camera down the hole so you can try and see it. Right, sticking the camera into the abyss. Hopefully you can see the bolt that I'm trying to get to. I think it's right in front of that lens there. Probably haven't got a great focus, but I think with the breaker bar there, I've got just enough clearance to get it. Okay, my socket and extension is on there. Let's see if you can see that. It's just poking out on the right hand side. So the one on the right hand side, that's my extension bar poking out, so hopefully I can get the ratchet on and try and get that out. Oh, it's hard to even get the ratchet on that, to be honest. The struggle is real. It's in, right. I've got the camera balance in there. You're going to have the flickery light because I'm using my torch, but tough. Oh, and I think that just came off the bolt. No. Okay, we're back on. It's going. One click at a time. Oh, there goes the ratchet. Is it there? Oh, I don't think I can do it with the power one. It's too chunky, so it's going to be one click at a time. Okay, I'm back on it. You can actually see it if you just look forwards of the oil filter housing. You can just about make it out. Oh no. Right, this is going to take a serious amount of time, so I will probably catch up with you once this bolt is out. Well then, the bolt finally made it out. I'm clinging onto that with this hand. I need to try and get... The tension came off the breaker bar, so I need to try and make sure that doesn't fall down the hole, as well as this Torx bit. I don't know which one to go for first. Torx bit's harder to get if I drop it, so I'll pull that out. Grab that one. I'm just going to have to yeet that in the garden. And now see what's happening over here with this thing. I cannot drop that bolt, that's the most important thing. Oh, wow. Yeah, that lower bolt's an absolute nightmare, good luck. In fact, I think my socket is now jammed between the tension of the pulley and the thing, so that'll be interesting. Oh, hello. Oh, here it comes. Something's coming, I don't know what, where, how. I'm even going to get this through. Let's see if I can take this ratchet off the back of this socket. That's going to give me a little bit of a chance. Now I need to work out where I can pull this lump out. As you can see, the socket is under tons of load with that bolt. I don't know how I'm going to get that off really. It's not going to be fun. Bit of a nightmare job, to be honest. That lower bolt. The bolt rescue mission now. Oh yes. Hopefully that hasn't destroyed the threads. No, it hasn't, because it's an alley casting. I'm sure that's the textbook answer. And just for your references, bottom bolt and top bolt are exactly the same. That's the one from the pulley again. So I'll have some lunch, walk the dog, and we'll crack on with fitting the new one. Okay then, so looking to refit, you can see that although this came in an inner box, they both say Lightens on the bottom, Lightens M113, so they are essentially the same part. As I mentioned when I was taking it apart, this one's got this pin in. This keeps it pre-tensioned so you can get this bolt in, because that's the bolt that gets covered up. If you look at them, when they're in the same position, one has the bolt exposed, one doesn't. That's why I had the issues getting this out. However, this one I guess you just put in, pull that pin out, and it will tension it all up. So I'll manoeuvre this new one into position. Well, that's not the position I wanted to put it in, is it? It's just fallen right down to the bottom. I didn't actually think there was enough room for it to do that, but clearly there is. So I think it may actually be easier for me to put the top bolt in very loosely, just to hold it in position, but not tighten it up, just to get a few threads on, and then try and get the bottom on it. Just going to put a touch of Loctite 243 on these threads, because they clearly had some blue Loctite on them before. That'll do, just a little smear. And I have just looked up online, they should be 25 Newton meters. Apparently when they're new you can do them to 35 Newton meters, but a lot of people say 25 Newton meters is better once they've been fitted before, due to the risk of damaging the aluminium threads in the engine. So I got about half that bolt in just from using an extension bar with the socket on just by hand. So that's gone in nice and easily, and I'll try and do the same with the bottom just to get it started. Just prep the bottom bolt with some Loctite. And then unfortunately there's no real way to record this because it's so far down. Okay, it feels like it's started. Me getting onto that bottom bolt, but it's quite difficult. So I've managed to nip those up by hand. I am going to try and get my torque wrench in there. Okay, top one's done. Down here. That's it, done. Okay, by comparison, this top one will be mega easy, I reckon. That'll do. Righty on the back of the wheel, that's the same way it came off. Get the bolt and stick it through the fan, ready. Poke it in the old hole. Long, long, long way. Start spin her up. We'll do this one's 25 Newton meters as well. This one's less critical, as you can see it very easily. 25.0. Okay, so the next job now is going to be getting that belt on. I reckon this is going to be a bit of a nightmare. Anyone else's dog obsessed with eating lavender? Because this one is. Okay then, so the new belt I've got is a Continental one. It was recommended by a few people on the forum as the one to go for. I will just check it compared to the old one. Okay, the Continental one seems very slightly shorter, but I imagine that's just stretch from use. Next up, what we're going to need is the image of the layout. So I've got this very pixelated image on my phone, but it gives you the rough idea of where the Serpentine belt goes. You can always look this up yourself. I think we're on, but we're not tensioned. What you need to do is you need to make sure it's sitting in all the correct grooves. Otherwise, when you fire it up, it will just rip itself to shreds, which I did once on my Land Rover before. It ran for about 10 minutes and then just disintegrated, and you got to do the whole lot again. So I'm going to go around every single wheel, make sure I'm in all the grooves, just make sure it's on all the middle of the wheels. Crankshaft one looks okay. It's a bit difficult to check at the bottom, but I'm going to have to get my hand around there because if you don't check it, you will regret it. So I think they're all on. I'm just locating where that tensioner pin was on the tensioner because I'm going to have to make sure I don't lose that when I pull it out. And that is the next job for me. So it will be load up the tensioner with the breaker bar in the 17mm socket again, and then try and pull out that tensioner pin. Okay, I'm on the tensioner, so I'll load it up a little bit, see if I can get this metal pin out. Pin's out, but I have made a rookie mistake. I've just released the tensioner with the breaker bar where the hose is. So I have to shift that hose, there's the pin by the way. I have to shift that hose out of the way. Hopefully the 20 whatever year old hose has still got a bit of squish left in it. Okay. That actually released quite easily, and the travel on the breaker bar was less than previously because obviously it's got the belt on now. So once we've got tension, you're going to want to check all those pulleys one last time. Okay then, so the belt's on. There's only one way to find out for sure if it's been put on correctly. That's fire the old girl up and see what happens. So just got to tidy up all the tools, get them off the engine, and then I think we're good to go. Well, she looks good to me. So she seems all good. One last little thing I forgot. Just this cap to go on the idler pulley. Luckily, I can put it right on at the end, it's no problem. All in all, another job ticked off the list. Okay, so pretty lucky actually. It's just started pouring down with rain, and that job I had to do standing outside the shed while the car's parked inside. So I'm glad that's over. That's the end of the video. You can hear the G Wagon purring away in the background, so I'm well chuffed that's gone okay. I'm probably going to leave it running for 10-15 minutes, give it some revs, make sure it's all settled, and that's that job ticked off the list and done for good. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.